Hello everyone, and welcome back to our character selector. Today we'll be adding the update on how to update your specific save character that you saved, and updating their specific attributes. And then with that, we could go to a remove function if we could do this in time. So what I'm going to kind of do is kind of change things up a little bit. I'm going to go to the Solution Explorer and create a new item. I'm going to essentially create a new class. So what I'm going to do is class and call it Character and add it. So essentially now that we have a class called that, we don't need this struct anymore. And now we can definitely use some what's called some getters and setters. So if we do get set, we can do that for everyone. I don't think we do that. So with that, we can then do I think the update would be so much easier because with getters and setters we can dynamically grab everything. So with that, we can now go to the forums and we should already have it. So if we get rid of this, we have a class called character. So let's I was checking something out. So let's do this. Let's start it up and see if we can do and get everything corrected. So if we have a name, let's just do Blake or Bialia. He's a Khajiit. He's yellow. He's fat, and his style, he likes to tank. And add it, and there we go. It's there. So if we did Yusuke, he's a human. Well, he's a demon. He's white. He is pretty built, and he's a fighter. So with that, now we can switch back and forth. So with that, we just made it into a class to make it better. Oops, hit the mic. So with that, we are going to then go to the button. So what we're going to do essentially is try to grab that specific thing in the list. So we would do like a var obj equals m underscore char dot first or default, and if it's x equals x dot name equals the list box one dot selected item. Well, we would make it dot to string. Oops. It won't work, the parameters. We would go with that. And then we'd make sure to do an if check to make sure that the object isn't null. We are going to then object dot, let's just say let's change our build real quick. Our build equals the new combo box that we decided. So let's do build combo box item, or where would it be? Yeah, combo box build to string. So that, and then I would do an invalidate, which just refreshes the screen. Ooh, I took that away. So with that, we can run it and we can check it now. We may be right, we may be wrong. So if we do blah, 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 this dude is a goblin, he is blue, he's medium, and he's a mage, and we add him. So then we change this to, let's say, Yusuke again. Human, white, built, and he's a fighter. Add. So now we can switch back and forth. So now when we choose Yusuke, we'll choose his build. He's not built anymore. He became really, really fat. So we should update this. So if we went here and went that, see, he's fat still. So with that, because it grabs a reference, that is what updates it. So now that we can just test that out, now we can do it with all of them. So with that, we can say, let's make this much with brackets now. Oh, oops. Alt up. Let's tab this out, and we can do all of them now. So with that, we can update all of them, and that is fantastic. With that, let's start with its dot name. If we're going to do text box text. Okay. Going to do, essentially, we're just going to grab all of this. And instead of the char temp, we're just going to do obj. There's a lot of, I think I could do a an alt and then do all of them, but, you know, only the basics, right? Okay. OBJ. So that, now, let's try it. So let's make again, let's do Blake. Class, he is an orc this time. He's yellow. He's very slim, and he likes to be stealthy. Let's do, what's in my room? A Nintendo Switch. Oh, my mouse decided to not. Nintendo Switch is a zombie. It's green. Well, no, I want it to be black. And yeah, Switch is pretty. It's pretty built. I think it is, and it's a tank. Yeah, I don't think you guys think it's a tank. So then we'll go back to Blake, and we'll switch his to blue. We'll switch him to a zombie, and we'll switch him to a fighter. And we'll make him Blake number 3 instead. So if we add that, oh, oops, we added him instead of updating him. So with that, so we do orc2 Khajiit yellow slim, and we will do an update. So if we switch it, Blake 3, and then we have blue slim fighter. So let's switch it to fat, a mage, and he's green, yellow. Well, I say he's yellow. So let's update that. It didn't update. Why not? That's because we should do Blake 4, because there's already a Blake 3 in there, which then that's where you get the remove button. So if we did that, we did a yellow, we did fat from slim and do a mage, and we do an update, we can go back. Oh, why? Okay, well, let's try a yellow, medium, wizard, update. Well, that worked. I'm guessing that because I had a flaw in that. So what we can do is make sure that we don't add. So if we go into our add button and we check if list box 1 dot items dot contains the selected text box already, then we're going to do, if it does not contain it, then we're going to add it. Because if it does, we don't want duplicates. And now with that, so we can try that. So if we do Blake class Khajiit color yellow build slim style wizard, and we add him, if we add him again, they're not going to get added. Well then, well, we got to make sure that if these are where all these checkboxes are coming, these checks for nulls now, and we didn't do that last time because well, can't really say why not. So with this, now we can make sure that this won't happen either. So let's try this one more time. So with this, we're going to do Blake class Khajiit green medium and fighter. We're going to add him. And see, we can't add him back. So now let's add a different name. A kitty cat, because there's a kitty next to me. I'm going to say that kitty is a high elf. He is definitely black. He's a little fat. And he's stealthy. And then we can do one more. We can do a doggy, a doggo. They are Khajiit, blue, built, and they are tanky. So now we can go back to Kitty, and we can switch them. Now the Kitty's a goblin. He turned to green. He's now more slim, and he likes to be a fighter. So if we update this, we go back to Doggo, we go back to Kitty. Whoa, look at that! Fighter, slim, green, goblin, kitty. There we go. Because of those non-null checks that I did, it didn't work. And now adding them, so much more efficient and reliable. Yeah. So now, what we can do is add a remove function. So if we went to design and we added a button called name, well, we're going to do the text because in retrospect, you always want to name your variables, not really button 1, button 2. You really want to name it what it really is. So, but we're going to do remove. And we're going to do button 1. We're just going to do remove. And that's going to change it, the name of it. So if we click on remove, we have a remove click. So there's a couple things we need to do. We need to, when we selected an item, we need to remove it from the list box as well as our list that we have internally that helps us save all the classes stuff. So what we can do first is kind of what we did before, is we could totally grab this object, make sure it's not null, and we can find it. Well, first of all, I don't think we really need to do that. We could just do char.remove, and then we can do a character item, which then would be, we would obviously grab the one that we're looking for that is selected. So yes, you would do that. Then you would make sure that it is not null. If obj, which is just object, does not equal null, then, oops, fat fingering, we can do the remove. Do char remove obj. And with that, we could do listbox1 dot selected dot items dot remove object value. We would do obj dot name, and then we would set listbox1 dot selected item to null. And what we would do also too is, first of all, we would say if the selected item is not null, because if it is null, it's just going to crash again. Does not equal to null. And with that, we can X out, we can then do that and make sure that it's in, and we can remove it. So then after that, I would do another, what's called an invalidate or an invoke. Invalidate, which then just refreshes the whole page. So that we can start it up, and we can then make a dude, blah, elf, white, fat, fighter, and add him. We can do another one, blah, blah, blah. Oh, oops, he's not in there. And fat add. So then we don't want him, so we could hit remove. And there we go. So that removes it from it. So then what we can do is then make sure that it doesn't show on the selected items. So selected items. So if we do this, oops, we do text box, and we remove it. Selected item equals null. Oops, we can't change things when running. So what we can do is, instead of selected item, we would just do selected index equals 0, and do it all for the rest. And with that, we'll make sure that it goes back to the default settings so that we don't have extra stuff. So if somebody wants to add something real quick, that's a reasonable thing to do. Oh, I had 2 extras. No. No! Do a semicolon, do a semicolon. Oh, we don't want to do, want to do text box 1 dot text. And with that, we can, it should show up the first value in the combo box. So we can always add that when we start up the thing, or the program. So let's try this one more time. Khajiit, colored blue, build slim, style mage, and add. So then we add something else, do std, human, yellow, he's now very built, and he's a fighter. And so that if we deleted this guy, right, it sends everything back and to the default ones. So what we can do is do the same thing. We could always set the first ones to the default, orc, green, or we could always add just a default name there, and then they have to still bring it down. So with that, we are completed this section. I believe I want to do one more part on this, is I want to be able to save out your characters, and then we can load them back in. So then that we could always keep adding and keep saving them. And with that, we're just going to do a normal text-based text file for that. And yeah, okay. I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Peace out.